Well, thank you for joining us live. It is not Tuesday at 7, it is Tuesday at 6:30. And Pastor Shawn has invited our community in to see what they're doing down here at the Valley View Village Church. And I've experienced this a few times, and it is worth the story. Not only the experience, but to experience the first Christmas. Thank you for bringing us in,
Shawn. Thank you for inviting us to be part of this with you and showing this off a little bit with people. This is an opportunity for our church to be really together, sharing the good news of Jesus with the whole world around us, and it gives us opportunity to be creative and use all of our different talents and skills together. So we often say, even though there's going to be about 2,400 people that show up this weekend over 2 nights, if we only had a couple people come, we would really think that it was worth it, because it bonds us together in all the fun that we have of working together creatively and seeing everybody's gifts come together and mesh together, and people will come up with ideas. And so what a great way for us to express that, and then at the same time especially tell the story that Jesus is born, that God took on flesh to redeem us.
I know that if people are trying to pin this location on a map, right? If you're from Northeast Ohio, you know that this is Tinker's Creek Road. Well, you might not know Tinker's Creek Road. We know that. But you know that the towpath runs just perpendicular.
Yeah, we're a quarter mile from the towpath, really. I mean, a third of a mile technically. But if you know the big red barn that's on Tinker's Creek, you're a quarter mile from us at that point. And so we're right here nestled in the heart of the Cuyahoga Valley National Park.
And I forgot our lavaliers, so we're talking a little bit loud. But what we want to do is encourage our community to do a couple things. One is to experience the first Christmas right here if you have the opportunity this weekend. But what we also want to do is to encourage you to share. In the very bottom left-hand side of your screen, there's an arrow. And when you press that arrow, Facebook will instruct you as to what to do next. What we encourage you to do is share it to your friends list. Perhaps share it to a particular friend, maybe a group. But when you share, we know it. And then next week, we're going to draw a winner. And artist Andy Denny has made a vessel. It's kind of a tea cup.
Yeah.
Right? For something, maybe it's hot chocolate, right? For a weekend like this. But next week, we'll draw a winner. And if your name is drawn, you'll get that piece. But and I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I love to hear the train.
That's the Christmas train that's going down through the Cuyahoga Valley here. So you're sitting right down in the valley, have all those sounds and experiences of that. So when we're doing the live nativity, everything, all your senses are on full activity. Not only with the lighting, but I mean, you'll smell the smoke and you'll see everything set up. We're trying to come back to that first century and tell truly historically what happened as God sent his son to redeem us. And we want people to know that story as the basis of our Christmas. So
live nativity, right? I think that when people think of live nativity, they're thinking of driving over and seeing a manger, right? And it's a wonderful experience, but this is more than just a live nativity. This is a time travel.
You really are time traveling back.
For us, so if you come that day, you're going to be.
So you'll be coming in here. This is our welcome tent. You can see we still have a lot of supplies that we're putting up. It takes a team. Like every day, we have a lot of our people. 25 to 30 people are coming and helping us put it on. And we're just a smaller church where everybody's pitching in like that. But we'll line up, and this is where you'll come and start your experience as you go back 2,000 years in time. And you'll venture through this. So when you're coming, dress accordingly for the weather, but also know that you're going to have this opportunity to really take in about 12 sequences, aspects of the story that the scriptures teach us about. And so we're really excited to be able to share that with everybody as they come and be part of this. So you're walking the path, if you will. You're not staying in your vehicle. You're not going inside a building, especially at first. You're coming outside. It's an outdoor experience.
For a lot of folks that join us, we have a lot of folks that put on experiences. And this would be described as maybe a stop and show. You would take a group, and that group of 15, 20 moves to the different sets, right?
Or every 2.5 minutes, a new group is going and starting, and there are 15 to 18 people usually in those groups. And so you're going together. We have a shepherd guide that will guide you along the path as you're walking from station to station, and kind of giving some background information. So people say, hey, I felt like I went back in time and experienced it. Because even though, sure, in the creative sense, we have all these LED lights on batteries and things like that to give the low level lighting that we want. We try to make it, no electric showing, nothing there in the present. So you feel like you've gone back and experienced it in time.
The story of Christmas was long before the birth of Christ, right? And so that is, for those folks who may not understand that, right? If you are coming here to experience this show, this story, this event, you're going to hear that the Christmas story started long before.
Starts in the very first book of the Bible, in the 3rd chapter. And in fact, we call the first experience that you'll have the Genesis tent, because we begin with the words, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And we tell the story of how we fell into sin and how God promised to send us a Redeemer from the very beginning of the book. And so as you go through this adventure, it sets that precedent to be able to say, hey, the Bible is actually going to unfold here for us. And if one's never experienced and understood what the Bible is, going through this experience, you kind of get a half hour of exposure to what the Bible is all about, because it brings us to the center of what the Bible is, Jesus. At the end of this experience, you come to the manger where Jesus is with his mother and his earthly father, and you go, now it makes sense. And so part of that experience that we do is we do some time traveling. We go back to 750 BC about as our very next stop, and you meet the prophet Isaiah, who says to us, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Prince of Peace, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father. And then from there you travel ahead to Caesar and hear about Caesar putting on a census so that he can raise more taxes, and that people had to go to their homeland and their home countries, their hometowns. And so that's how Bethlehem comes into experience. And so part of that whole thing that we do is we take those accounts within the scripture and just bring them to life in a quick little snapshot. And so they get to meet people that welcome them to the land of Abraham. And they tell them about the occupation of the Romans and how they're under that suppression and how they're wanting and knowing that God's going to redeem them. And then they meet someone that's really dark, King Herod, and he's like, I want to come and worship this one too, so come and tell me about this. And at this point, the kids are hooked. If you have kids, bring them with you. Grandkids, bring them with you, because at this point, the kids get so into it. I want to tell you, Roger, often the guy that plays King Herod has these kids find him. They sneak back in, because he hands them, he gives them a gold coin, which is one of those little chocolate coins. And he says, I have more of these if you'll come and tell me where the baby is. And kids, after they've gone through the whole thing, they're like, I'm not telling you. And then we've actually had kids go back and throw the coin at King Herod and say, you can keep your coin, and I'm never telling you where the baby is.
I love that you shared, and we have a creative community, and I love that the first verb in the Bible was the word created. Right?
Yeah.
And the fact that you use the creative and theater arts to tell a story in a different way than probably most people have ever experienced the Christmas story. And I love the fact that as you're doing this time travel, I think a lot of people who maybe do not have, biblical teaching are like, what is a prophecy? Like what is that? But you take us to the words of Isaiah, like we're not talking
you meet him.
Like 2 or 3 years. You're talking hundreds of years.
Yeah.
In writing and predicted the birth precisely.
Yes.
In the and that is something that is an important. incredibly important aspect, right, that folks will get a chance to experience here.
Absolutely. And we want them to see that, we understand that faith comes by hearing. And so, yes, this message is a message that we talk about and tell, but also we experience it. All of the senses come alive here. And people walk away going, I never really took it in all, and said, this is what it was like.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes when we just read this account in the Bible about it, all of a sudden people come back and say, I'm going to reread this now in light of what I've seen. Because one of the things that we're really dedicated to in our creativity is being historic. We don't want to make this a fantasy story. So, like, for example, we could never impress people with angels. If you really truly saw an angel, I said this in my sermon on Sunday, we'd have to hand out Depends to everybody as they came through the line, because you would need that pair of Depends if you encountered an angel, because every time someone encounters an angel in the Bible, the angel has to say to them, do not be afraid. Fear not. They fall on their face before the angel, and he says, I'm not God, don't worship me. So we allow, like, the shepherds to tell this story, and the little kids, this is where the kids in our church get to be part of this and say, oh, you're the scaredy one. I saw you. No, I wasn't. And the kids get to tell the story along with the adults of what took place, and come and see the baby.
If you do not have plans Friday and Saturday, it is imperative that you jump on and grab your tickets, because there's only a certain amount of people that you can move through here on any given night, and you're giving the community the experience, a free experience, right? To join, to bring their families, to pack in a car, to dress warm.
Normally, it's going to be about 20 degrees we're hearing on Saturday,
and that's way better than soggy field here.
Or what rain.
Lisa Montalvo asked that question: how do you get tickets?
So you can go to our website, valleyviewvillagechurch.com, and there's a link, a tab up at the top called Live Nativity. You go there and look. I have to tell you, we are down to about 100 tickets of our 2,300 that we had set up left, and those are on Saturday. So I want to tell you about another option, because I don't want you to be disheartened by that. We've only ticketed for about 90% of our availability, so that people that hear about it like this right now so late are able to say, hey, I still want to come. You'll be what's called a walk-up. And we're going to put in, so if we're putting in a group of 15 people, we're going to try to put like 3 of the people that walked up to here, because we don't want to be like it was for Jesus. There's no room for you.
No room for you in the end.
Yeah, we want it to be, hey, there is room for you to hear this story. So don't be discouraged by that experience, that if you see, because it is sold out, except for I think like maybe the last 6 slots of Saturday nights already. And so we're amazed at the response that people, once people hear the story, some people say, hey, I'm bringing a group of people with me. We have one group that brings foreign students that are at local universities that have never heard this story, and they bring a group of 40 to 50 college students to be part of this.
You bring them in.
They bring them in.
You bring them in. Point us, without having to walk, because we'll catch a little bit of, you're going to be putting in a few steps.
Yeah, you will walk about 50 feet between station to station. And so I know you can't see things. You're on the inside wall right now. You're getting the inside view that you won't have when you go on the path. But you can see one tent that's separated. That's what we call that Genesis tent. Beyond that is Isaiah. And the white building you see way back there is Caesar's Senate. You'll meet Caesar and one of his senators at that. And then over here is King Herod's little palace. So we have that. And this behind you, just for weather protection, is the...
Can we walk up on this?
Yeah,
let's
come on,
walk
let's walk up on it. This is the Bethlehem Gate, and this is really cool. And since this is a creative group, I kind of want to show how we made this.
Yeah.
For you to see. This is just 4x8 sheets of Luan plywood, 1/4 inch thick, where we stretched. This is the creativity our people have gotten to express.
Yeah.
We stretched burlap over it, and then artists in our church made it look like a wall. And so this thing looks like a wall. There's a Roman guard that stands up at the top, and if you come over here, you get to see.
You get to see.
Even all of our construction people. This is just scaffolding that people in our community say, "Hey, use it." So, it's that creativity that we get together.
That's amazing. That had me fooled at first. I didn't know it was. I thought it was actually like some kind of block.
There's fires here, and there'll be 2 Roman guards that will stand here and say, "Why are you here? What's your purpose?" And so the kids in our church get to be part of this. Yeah. And so as they do, they graduate from either being in the marketplace, which is right behind this, to being shepherds. But the real thing for boys is when they can be a Roman guard and boss the people around. Nothing to see here. Move on. and
as I remember walking through the marketplace, the marketplace is believable. Like you feel immersed.
We have little pieces of falafel type bread that you eat in there, and you have experience of the animals, and so people can meander and pet the animals, and so this is where children just love it because all of a sudden they recognize and say, Jesus is real. This story is people, and we can touch it. And so, they get to kind of experience that Bethlehem market, and there's singing, there's dancing in the market. The girls will make this circle and sing Havenu Shalom Aleichem. And so it's just a fun time from that.
Now, I also remember, the lighting is striking. I remember, do we also have the Star
We will have
of Bethlehem?
We will have the Star of Bethlehem. And also the thing that we do, like you're talking about lighting, one of the things that we've really creatively done is we even have people that split wood for us as a part of like the summer crew. We did a little bit later this year, but we use these fire pits to create a lot of our light and tiki torches. And so you get when you look on it, it's like we can have a couple spots where we look on it, people look down on it and it looks like a village actually. We've actually had people where we have the star that flies in the sky, and I won't tell all the stories, and we're not going to tell all of our secrets. But we've had people that are on hikes in the national park, see the star from the edge, and go, "What the heck is that?" Walk over to the edge and look down and said, "We got to go down," and they came.
Like the wise men following the star.
They literally followed the star and came. So all of those kind of stories over the years of doing this has just been so refreshing to us to be able to say, you know what, our creativity and the gospel go hand in hand, and God's made us to delight and enjoy and to have friends that we build, so people in our church that are brand new get to work beside others, and they build friendships that continue on all life. And that's what a creative community. I really believe as a pastor that a church should be a creative community that is using their gifts and their skills, to take from nothing and to create something just like God has created.
Yeah.
So
I know that. How many years? When was the first year that this show?
2014.
2004. So we're now, was there a COVID break?
Yeah, there was a COVID break, unfortunately. We actually had thought about 2019. We were 6 years in. We were like, is this supposed to be our 7th year that we take on fallow ground? Well, COVID made it that way. In fact, it stayed 2021 and 22. We took 3 years off because there was just so much that we had to unpack and prepare for, and things changed so much. So 23, we came back. Last year we did a indoor version light. I was on sabbatical with my family, and so we were on a health sabbatical, and so I was not able to be here, and so they decided not to do the full version outdoors. But we're back out, and so this technically we're calling this our 8th year.
And so I would imagine that the families are like, every year we keep looking to see if we can make this a yearly family gathering, right?
It really is like that.
You're gonna give us a peek at a couple more things,
sure,
because you've got
here we bring in like this. So during this season also is Hanukkah, And so we'll have what is called a Hanukkah, which is different than a menorah. This has the 8 days of Hanukkah plus the lighter up at the top that we light, that we bring into the story so that we have that into the story. You can sneak back into here. I'll give you a sneak peek of the marketplace, all right? And here's now, all these are our market booths, and people will be selling cloth and animals and fish and other artifacts and things like that. It's an interactive experience, you know. And so they're staying in character and telling. And so you can see here more of it in our booths for animals. And so you can see we've made this. We have a sawmill in our church, and so we've cut all of our own wood, so it looks more authentic than going to Home Depot or Lowe's. And the kids, we made it so that they can reach in here and pet the animals.
Pet the animals.
So everything is pet friendly, like that.
Yeah.
So this is where the Roman guards are. And again, you can see the shepherds area back here, and then our Bethlehem village, and then the Holy Grail, if you will. I don't know if I should call it that, but the stable. Where one will meet Mary and Joseph and the babe.
And the not only do you get a chance to walk through, and this is a experience that lasts about how long?
Takes about a half hour.
About a half hour
to go through. So dress warmly and be prepared. Dress weather appropriately, and come on out and enjoy it. You'll smell it. You'll taste it. You'll hear it. You'll see it. All of our senses will be going.
You'll have an opportunity to even take a picture with your family.
Absolutely.
Right, and so you can commemorate.
We have a photo wall that we'll have. And then at the very end, what we'll do is, just so people, because they've been in this now for half an hour, go inside, and our people package and bake cookies. And we have Christmas cookies and cocoa and some music. And we
can warm up and get to meet some of the folks that are here at the church. And now, are you in the show, or are you the kind of directing and?
No, our coordinator is standing behind the scenes with us, coming along and following. He's doing a great job keeping us alive and keeping us on task. But what is really my privilege is just to be that rah-rah encourager, to say, look what we are doing together. It's not about any one of us. So I've filled shoes in different places, but usually I'm inside where it's nice and warm, because I've been outside the whole time building it.
Yeah. As we kind of close down, because I know you've got a lot of folks that are arriving here. The reason why we went at 6:30 is because everybody's arriving here at 7, so we went a little early. For folks that might say, you know, I'm looking for a home church, right? Especially, you know, with under the leadership that appreciates the creative gifts that were given. This would be a good church to.
We are a church that loves Jesus and wants to love one another as Christ has loved us. And part of that is we think that a church should be where it's of a size that people know one another and can not only know one another but pray for one another, and to be an encouragement to one another, where we have lifetime friends that we hang out together with. And so we welcome people all the time into our church family. We're a church we'd love to reach every week 100 people in the service. We're not a huge church, but we just love doing that. We welcome people to come be a part of this. And, you know, we sit down and say with our people, hey, what gifts do you have? How can you utilize this amongst us? And, you know, we have people that own animals. We have people that are construction and develop our setting. We have people that make the costumes, that cook. There's a place for everyone, because it's like, you know, the scriptures teach the body of Christ. Everyone has been given different gifts, but we blend them together. We harmonize in unity and exalt Jesus and glorify God in that process.
It's important to do life together.
It really is.
You know, to celebrate births.
To say we're on the same journey together, and to say, hey, I have a brother and sister. I don't have to be artificial. I can be talking about the things that God is using, the trials and the circumstances of my life, that He's using to conform me more to the image of our Savior.
And the world, and we are made up of broken people, and
none of us are perfect.
None of us are perfect. So.
No perfect people are here.
Yeah.
We are not a perfect church. We have our problems.
We thank you guys for joining us this Tuesday at 6:30. We encourage you to go ahead and share this video and listen. Jump on, maybe grab those Saturday tickets. But if you do find yourself without a ticket, come on up. Meet Pastor Shawn. Experience the show. And we want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas.
It's like Julia Evelyn. She was hoping for more videos like this, or at least something in case she misses out on tickets. And, that would be nice. Or just come up, like you said. Yeah, maybe she might be able to even still get in.
We have a few little clips on YouTube, but nothing. Every time we video it, it never captures it. And
right.
Kind of like, you really have to come in person and experience
And like you said earlier, the other lady asked, you can still come up and maybe still have a chance to get in. You're not going to get turned away.
No, we may say, depending on how many people, our crew really is working together, and they might say to you, hey, we have room now, come on in. Or they might say, drive around for a little bit. There's a restaurant down the street. Go have dinner and come back in a half hour or an hour. And
even for me, the way the world is right now and the way society is, everything going on, people need to see this and just experience it.
You're right in the heart of the park, and everyone says that they love the outdoor experience.
Yeah.
It's even when it's cold, people are like, it was worth it.
Yeah,
we loved it.
Shawn, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, so much absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us. We encourage you to share this. Again, if you share and your name is drawn next week, you get an opportunity to get an original piece of artwork.
That's awesome.
Artwork made by Andy Denny. Thank you, Andy, for the donation there as well. And Pastor Shawn, thank you for giving us a sneak peek a few days before your show.
You're welcome.
All right. See you guys.